Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle. You should not honor men more than truth. Love is the joy of the good, the wonder of the wise, the amazement of the gods. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. When men speak ill of thee, live so as nobody may believe them. Only the dead have seen the end of war. The beginning is the most important part of the work. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. There are two things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. Thinking, the talking of the soul with itself. Music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and charm and gaiety to life, and to everything. The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. For a man to conquer himself is the first and noblest of all victories. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. To be conquered by yourself is of all things most shameful and vile. The empty vessel makes the loudest sound. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Dictatorship naturally arises out of democracy, and the most aggravated form of tyranny and slavery out of the most extreme liberty. Love is a serious mental disease. I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. The beginning is the most important part of the work. Never discourage anyone who continually makes progress, no matter how slow. We are twice armed if we fight with faith. A good decision is based on knowledge and not on numbers. No one is a friend to his friend who does not love in return. Better a little, which is well done, than a great deal imperfectly. Music is the movement of sound to reach the soul for the education of its virtue. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. Knowledge without justice ought to be called cunning, rather than wisdom. The measure of the man is what he does with power. This city is what it is because our citizens are what they are. Ignorance, the root and stem of every evil. He who commits injustice is ever made more wretched than he who suffers it. Justice in the life and conduct of the state is possible only as first it resides in the hearts and souls of the citizens. If women are expected to do the same work as men, we must teach them the same things. I'm trying to think, don't confuse me with facts. Attention to health is life's greatest hindrance. Those who tell the stories rule society. The punishment which the wise suffer, who refuse to take part in the government, is to live under the government of worse men. Nothing in the affairs of men is worthy of great anxiety. There is truth in wine and children. If a man neglects education, he walks lame to the end of his life. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. The madness of love is the greatest of heaven's blessings. Let parents bequeath to their children not riches, but the spirit of reverence. Education is teaching our children to desire the right things. Death is not the worst that can happen to men. Twice and thrice over, as they say, good is it to repeat and review what is good. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Honesty is for the most part less profitable than dishonesty. There are three classes of men: lovers of wisdom, lovers of honor, and lovers of gain. Science is nothing but perception. Justice means minding one's own business and not meddling with other men's concerns. Astronomy compels the soul to look upwards and leads us from this world to another. There are two things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot. Wonder is the feeling of the philosopher, and philosophy begins in wonder. The direction in which education starts, a man will determine his future in life. Necessity, the mother of invention.